garden. I have never gardened before, officially. And we have the space now. We moved and we have the space. And I want a garden. I want a big garden. I want an Instagram worthy garden. And I gotta figure out how to do it. The reason I want to start this channel is we've moved somewhere where homesteading or living off the land or whatever you want to call it, being more food secure, food stable, is very much more doable than where we used to live. It is something I want to really get into, but as I'm starting to get into it, I'm sort of learning there are basics that are sort of unspoken in the realm and in the world of, like, I'll call it homesteading just for the sake of the video. But I never grew up with any of that, and I want to do it. So with that being said, this video, as the title states, is sort of my general introduction to gardening and seeds. Also to say, we don't have a garden space here at all. We moved here in November. I'm in Canada, snow. So we don't have a garden, even like the previous owners had started and established. Like, we are starting from bare bones, nothing. First things first, in our gardening journey together, figure out what zone you're in, because you might want to start planting your seeds now. You also might want to wait, like me. So a really easy thing that you can do when you're getting into gardening and sort of don't know where to start. So you can order things like seed catalogs. I have one here from Berlin Seeds. A lot of places, companies send these out for free. I got this one for free, and she is fake. They are a company based out of Ohio, but some of my favorite gardening YouTubers that I've been watching are More Than Farmers. They use the Berlin Seeds catalog, so I ordered it. Again, it was free. And just to even go through and see what varieties they have here, what I can find in Canada. If you want to get a different seed catalog, just get your hands on a seed catalog, because it's a catalog of seeds. So while we're waiting for the weather, we can be going through and prepping and researching what varieties of certain vegetables and fruits and flowers will do well and thrive really well in the zone that you're living in. Because when you're someone in a zone 4, you have quite a short growing period. The first thing with gardening I think that I'm going to do, or try to do, don't hold me to it, is think of some staple crops that we can have. So not to get overwhelmed, because there are so many options for seeds and different vegetables. Before I even get into the catalog, what are things that would be staples for us to have and really baby those staple plants this first couple years of starting our garden? For us, tomatoes are number one. We're both big fresh tomato lovers. My fiance grew up growing them at his Nana and Papa's. We cannot go without tomatoes in our fridge. We love homemade pasta sauce, homemade, literally all the sauces. I did homemade salsa, all of that. So tomatoes are number one. To sort of go along with that, some type of a pepper, whether it's a bell pepper, a jalapeno, a banana pepper, just some type of a pepper. They're also something that is always in our fridge, no matter what. So growing them would be a really big bonus. So tomatoes, bell peppers, or any kind of pepper. Beans, green beans. They are heavy producers. They produce a lot of fruit on a single couple plants. They can be canned and preserved. They can be frozen and reheated and used that way, and they're something we will genuinely eat. So getting into our seed book, magazine, catalog. thing. This is great for learning all of the different varieties, because there are so many, and there are so many that are really good for your climate, and there are so many that won't do well in your climate. So even if you're not planning on necessarily ordering from the catalog, learning the different varieties, because like I know when I go into Walmart and I see all the racks of seeds in that, I'm like, what is the difference between this? They're both tomatoes. Tomatoes are kind of wild to me. For instance, these are all tomato varieties. These are all tomato varieties. And this whole page is tomato varieties, and these are tomato varieties. And they all do something different. So this can be very overwhelming to me. I'm nerded out at all of this. And they're all different kinds. They all do well in different settings. For instance, if you have a very short growing period, something like this German Johnson up here would not be great because it has 85 days to maturity. Whereas something like this early girl down here, if you have a short growing period, fantastic. It's only 57 days to maturity. So there's tons of different things that you can do. So many different things. You can also sort of make the decision of if you want to try and do as many heirloom varieties as possible. I'll put the definition of heirloom for vegetables here. You can do organic seeds, treated seeds, untreated seeds. These are all decisions you can make. You don't have to make them because you can, if you don't care if they're treated or not, you can kind of just pick the ones that are cool. Another thing I want to try and do is have some fun things because it's gardening and I think it should be fun. But don't overwhelm yourself, especially if it's your first year gardening. I'm getting the feeling that I'm going to overwhelm myself and I'm trying to hold back. But there are so many, this is the blessing of the seed catalog is you can learn about all the seeds. The curse of the seed catalog is you can learn about all the seeds. I genuinely did not know there were this many tomato varieties. But for me, I think, don't quote me on this, don't hold me to it, but I think for my fiance loves any style of like a beefsteak tomato, a big hearty tomato. So I'm thinking I'm going to do the brandy red wine tomatoes. They are an heirloom Amish variety dating back to 1885. They produce large, meaty, pink-fleshed, low-acid tomatoes. The other, larger tomato, I keep wanting to say tomato that I want to grow is something along the lines of this pink jazz. It is also an indeterminate tomato and it is open pollinated. Ah, yes, okay. For paste tomatoes, I want to do the Amish paste. We love making tomato sauce. We want to make all of our own tomato sauce, spaghetti sauce, all the tomato condiments. You want to paste tomato. They have less liquid in them and more flesh in them. So, they're better for sauces. And then I also have Sweet Million circled on here. They're a cherry tomato variety. Again, indeterminate. They have high yields of super sweet 1-inch cherry tomatoes produced on long vines. On Volva cherry tomato, my nephew, I think, will have a ball with cherry tomatoes and just being able to go out and pick them and eat them. Okay, these are the green beans. And these. I'm not gonna lie, I'm totally basing this pick off of what Northern farmers do because they seem to kind of have it figured out. Contender beans. They have a very short growing period as well. They're 44 days compared to some of these that have 50 to almost 60 days of growing time. Beets are something, again, I want to grow them. I'll be happy to grow them. If I don't get them, I'll be sad, I'm not gonna lie, but we'll survive. Me and my fiance love pickled beets. Broccoli, I think I want to grow it. I'm thinking, from what I've heard, broccoli, especially if you're starting a garden, I need a greenhouse. If you have a greenhouse, my plants already started. They're easier. They tend to get leggy, meaning they're not very strong plants when you grow them from seed. So I want to grow broccoli. We eat a lot of broccoli. You can chop it up, blanch it, freeze it, store it. Cabbage, same thing. I'm probably gonna buy it from a greenhouse if I grow it. I really want to grow it. I'll survive if I don't grow it though. Carrots. I'm really excited for this because I have been really getting into buying the huge bags of carrots, pre-chopping them, spending an evening just chopping carrots, putting them in the freezer anyways, so if we can grow them and I can skip the buying part of them, I want to try this. And we, I think, are going to try and locate some Danvers 126s. Corn. I have for corn the Incredible. Again, if the corn doesn't produce anything, I'm not gonna be sad. It's just fun. I've never grown corn, I've never grown any of this before, but I live somewhere where there's lots of cornfields. Like driving up the highway, there's cornfields. So I think it'd be fun to grow some corn. They also have popcorn, and I'm thinking about this, I got my eye on this ladyfinger popcorn, because I think it would be very fun for my nephew, to be honest. We're not really big popcorn eaters, but I think we gotta try it. Cucumbers, probably just gonna try pickling cucumbers this year. Again, we love pickles, pickled anything. They got this homemade pickle variety and it seems pretty good. It again has a pretty short germination period, 55 days. Seems good. Now, I said I had a packet of seeds already that are for fun. And I do. They're loofah seeds. I don't have much hope in them working out. They have a 130-day germination period. Peppers was on the list. There's a lot of peppers. I'm thinking going with this Inferno for a hot banana pepper that we can pickle. We both love banana peppers on anything, like a pickled banana pepper is great. And then there are also these Ace peppers that I think will look really nice. Especially they have 50 days to green, 70 days to red. So you have variation. You can leave the peppers on a little longer. And then another option we have, it circled at least for right now, are the sweet pepper mix. So you get a mix of all the colors. It's pretty fun. Very, very fun. And then I promised my little nephew, my little almost 4-year-old nephew, we were gonna grow pumpkins together. Whether or not that's gonna work out is another story. What? They're gonna be his to help, to attend to. I'm gonna attend to them, but he's gonna think he's tending to them. So I think if we don't go with a classic run-of-the-mill orange pumpkin, I think these fairy tale pumpkins would be really cute for him to grow. They're a fun color, they're fun, weird shapes, and at the end you can use them in pies. So it's a win for me too, honestly. Now, to help with all of that, because it's a lot, I quickly created a quick sort of personalized garden planner. It looks like this. And I put a little willow on it because we have a little willow in our yard. But seeds to buy, plants to buy, that way I sort of know what I'm growing from seed and what I am buying and then growing. A list of vegetables and a list of herbs, just to keep my brain a little more in tune with itself. Planting dates. So what our estimated, when we get there, what our estimated last frost is gonna be, but also based off of the last full moon, what the last full cycle dates are going to be. And then based off of that, I could have all of this space to add the planting dates that I wanna do. Now for us, this is the side garden that we're gonna have. It's a rough idea that I can sort of draw on and scribble on and say I want to have, you know, 2 or 3 rows of corn here, potatoes here, I don't know, tomatoes here, and whatever. This is our patio. So sort of the side, front, and then the long side. And this has all of the baskets on it that I want to add. And then if we're having like planters sitting somewhere, I can sort of mark out where I want the planters to go and what I want in the planters. And then I can sort of organize the annuals versus the perennials that I plant. That way next year I know what is going to come up again and what I can expect to come up again versus what I might have to reorder if I want to continue to grow it the following year. That's my start of a garden. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if you have any questions. If you want me to try and find some research and stuff, we're gonna learn together. If you have any recommendations for me on gardening, on my first garden, yeah, we're gonna learn this whole homesteading thing together. I got pamphlets to order chickens. We're doing it.